demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. No proper English was used. The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, today I'm going to get started. Okay, thought I had my mic off. I'm going to start Jeremiah. And like I said, this is, or I've said in other videos, this is my final time through these books, and I'm looking for the first writer's formats. I found maybe 3 or 4 different type of formats, but this one's going to be the second most important format. But I'm going to get started here. And I have new equipment, so it might be a little bit different and might be a learning phase here with this stuff. But I have to come out. These aren't Jeremiah's words. When our Creator speaks to him, it's got to be his words. So then it's got to be, and I'm give respect to our Creator by making it all capitals, but then I have to say I'm adding that word. And this I got to get rid of. And you can see I've got of Jeremiah, which we know that can't be true. That's not even proper English. But words through, his words through Jeremiah. And that way we can do this. And whoops, those are his words. His words through Jeremiah. And it's going to, because we don't know if there's many sons or not, but don't know that right now to say a son or the son from. Let's see if I can speed this up today a little bit by not grabbing that first part. I think I can get rid of that in a macro or something. The son from, and this guy, if he's going to be a good guy, he needs a capital H. And Heil. I. And I don't like, since I'm the editor, I get to change names if I want to, make it easier. It says of the priest. Well, that's not true. We can see that, or I can tell that what I'm doing is in these formats, and I'm going to show you them on the side here. So let me put them up. And that's probably 30 slides that I've got here. And the format that you can see is a lot of times I've got like one major word, another major word. This would be a major word. This isn't really always used as a major word, but you can see I got 1, 2 here, and I got 1, 2 here. So that's how I try to do the format, or that's the format. It's just whether it's going to be a 3-verse or 4-verse. Now this, they're trying to put priest here of the priests who were in this place. This is just another city someplace, and I really don't trust them locations anywhere on the map. I need reference to in a story from here or where, not just blatantly come out with a name of a city. Not in, has to be from the land for Benjamin. Now, I don't know if this is his name, so I've got to do something with that. I can't remember how I coded. So what I'll do is I'll just say I'm going to make it bold for right now, and that would mean it's the land or the tribe. So and these words from the land for Benjamin. So like I said, this is not going to be in here. So it looks like a 3-verse format right now. And if I find 4-verse, then I'll have to come back and use this. Who were in, who were, or who lived in Ananath? Okay. Anyways, to whom the words. Well, yeah, gotta figure this out. I gotta start. Guess I need a longer. Maybe it will go to the other side. I use my armchair or arms on my chair as to use the mouse. This new deck Stream Deck, it's called. I haven't found a home for it yet. This is only my second time using it. So, okay. It needs to be, yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to use their stand I give with it. This is, anyways, that's my problem. And this means I've got to use this word, so from, and I usually make that green when I'm adding. And since I'm right-handed now again, his words to Jeremiah, the son from the land. I'm thinking this is going to be a 4-verse. So let me, not were, but lived. And this being a major word, I've got to say I'm adding it completely. So I do this. Who lived. I'm going to have to put the word by, just on the safer side of not, I don't have any text yet to tell me whether this is true or not. But usually our Creator doesn't, I've seen most text of him like they were very poor, okay? So, and he would pick a male from a poor family to be a prophet. Okay. To whom the words. This has to be in. Now it makes more sense this way. In the land for Benjamin. And actually for Benjamin's needs to have this added. To whom the words from YV came, and the days for Joash. Now it has to be for, not of, but for. Now who is this king? Because this is not going to fit in the format. This will be a period. No, this is a comma. This will be a period. And the days for, okay, now I'm going to need this to show you which king we're talking about here. And you can see his name down here in the bottom. So now you have to understand the king before and his son were very corrupt. This idiot here decided to meditate and have sex with his so-called female goddess. And you'll learn more from me when I talk about that more in depth if it comes up in the text. But he was putting his false idol that he made in our Creator's meeting room, which means the priest had to be corrupt. This guy, when he's there, he's going to go clean out all his mess and get rid of him and reassign priests. Okay? So what we have here is a prophet now that we know that maybe by the age, I don't know, our Creator told Samuel when he was probably 9 or 10, or called Samuel when he's 9 or 10. But it wasn't until later, well, it would have been a couple years later. So if I would guess, he has to be at least 15 years old or older. Okay. Now I might come back to that map or that timeline. And because I have him as a good guy, as you notice with the J, capital J, I can put that on here. And I got to add the word our king. I'm trying to make this first person as best as I can, as if the scribe was actually writing the text before it got corrupted. King, and it's got to be again 4. Now here I need to put a capital letter because under his rule, this king's rule, he did obey our Creator. So the way I do that is I put all caps and make it bold. Whoops, bold is up here. And then it looks like this. So when you read it this way, you can see how I'm trying to differentiate the nation from the tribes' names. For Judah, in the 10 and 3, so it's got to be third, which would be actually the 13th, but they say it this way. They used, in the old Hebrew text, they didn't have numbers like they do at Jesus's time, where they would use or write the full number like 100 or 50. They had numbers for those numbers, but they would still say 50 and 5. Or it would be, instead of saying like two tens, which would be 20, they had a word for 20 by then. But when it goes back another 300-400 years, the scribes would have stuck to the way the first scribes wrote, as far as I can tell, that this would be in the year of his reign. Okay, now this tells us when. So let me bring, oops. I thought I was over here on this side. Okay. So we're talking, these aren't correct as 30 years, so I'd put a dash like right here, that this is when he spoke, or he told them our Creator's words. So now we got a better idea here. But the only thing is nothing here is going to go with this. But actually this kind of goes like that. And if I would have put this as a period as the statement, then I would have something like this, a 3 verse. And then you can see this is a 3 verse. So that means there wasn't, I didn't need to add this verse here. This is the one I added. So if I just get rid of it completely, and I'm going to put one son, a son. Whoops. A son from, I don't like, but I'm going to just get rid of this. Helkai. Much easier. So now I have to add the word from again here. Okay. Now you can see now that I've got a 3-verse format going. It takes a little bit to do this to get started. Now, what these two are going to make a paragraph above. And so I've got to look for another half of this. I would have to say, and also, and this would have to be days. For now, I don't think that king's name was next. So where do I have it here? Yeah, it is here. Okay, now he's the stupid one. Okay, and I can see that I've got this cut wrong. And it says this would be and in the days for a joke. Again, I would have to use a sun. So if I grab that, bring it down here. And this is a good king, so and I just have to recopy this whole verse. I was thinking it shouldn't be like that. I mean, it should be. So I'm a little shocked it's reading like this. But, and then, now that would be, but they would go together defining the times. It came here and also in these years. Now, I need a little bit of help here in my head. So I'm just trying to keep my mind on how old he is. Okay. This is shortened up. Now, was it his son? Because Jeremiah is going to be the prophet that is left in the land after Babylon takes them captive, come down and does this. So he's got to fill all even time after this. So because he writes books, and his book actually is actually taking, somebody takes it up to Babylon, and Daniel gets to read his text. So now we have him, I would say, at best, 10 years that he lives after this. So it'd be 10, 20, 30. And 30 is 60. And he starts someplace here in the 13th year. So that's 17, 27, 37, 47. So actually, okay, I'm just trying to get an idea how old he is and his age to make sure that this text is because now this tells me he's got to be older, and it has to be the king before him as well as when he was a prophet. So because most likely he lived 60 years, so he's actually maybe 20 years old, and it would be here 20 plus 37, 47, 57, 67. So yeah, it's maybe he doesn't live to be 60, but yes, now I've got him at the age of 15 to 20 is more reasonable time for his age. So he's more or less like, um, I would say 20 years old when he first becomes a prophet. Okay, so he can't be, I don't know if he's, because I would have to adjust this text here. So here I'm going to put an underline just for my future questioning, like what's going on, because I try to make sense of all the words to be as truthful as I can, because they're repeating this king for Judah and king for Judah, which this would mean that he's the king for Judah, and this would be the king for Judah, but he came starting in this year of his reign is when he first appeared. So if he's 15 to 20 at this time, it does make it reasonable that he's 15. They probably wouldn't listen to him that young, so maybe closer to 20. And then they might have not trusted what he was saying too, so because of his youth. So, but that's for my little mind to wonder about here, because I'm really trying to completely make sense of what's going on here. Okay, now that my bit rate is up on or on Twitch a little bit, I don't know what YouTube is. Let me pump that setting back up, see if it can take a little bit more on the bit rate. Sorry about that, but it's I'm trying to give a good quality stream, so I'm not sure if my graphics card, it's kind of old, but anyways, I'm trying to do 1080p as well. That's okay. I just seen that that bit rate just went through. So it still says excellent. All right. Until the end of the 10 and 1, that would be the 11 years. 10 and 11 years. And this again. For Hezekiah. And this would be a period, and then I got to do this. So this is comma. That's a period. The son from. Now, let me see that again, that timeline here. Yes, that says it's from his son. I didn't know if it was his second son or is it his son? Because he only rules 10 years. So maybe he started when he was 20 something. and then died by the time he was 30. And because these numbers are so accurate, it's not funny. But, okay. Good guy. And again, copy this. But this is not a good, I forgot. I got to do this. And then I've got to show you what it looks like with being a bad king. Bold, all small caps. It looks like that. So you can see the big difference of what's going on. It's just to help the reader make sure they understand what's going on. Now this is weird because this is saying that this is actually until it would be our exile. Whoops. Until our exile in the 5th month. So this looks like it's a comma and a period. Now, that being said, then what's that? Actually, this doesn't belong. Words from why, to whom the words from why they came in the days. I'm trying to see if I can get rid of verses here to make it, because we now know that it's all the way up to this king. So why would they write it as 3 kings? I need it smaller so I can read more here without going back and forth. Words through Jeremiah, son from. In the days for Josiah, until now this would get moved up. This might actually get something like move up, and then if I copied it, make it 8 point, then go up here, stick it here, because these two are a group, so there's got to be 2 spaces, until the end of 10 years for Hezekiah. No, it's not going to go here. What about here? in the third year of his reign till the end or 10 work week. Our king from Judah until the exile in the 5th month. So this is telling me this, and I don't need this verse. And then this. Okay, what it's telling me now is that it's actually in the right order. It's this group that's not needed. This is wrong. And this was added, and it doesn't need to be added. So this is out. No, it's not going to be. I don't know why I'm so goofy today. So this, it is actually, then it's 2, and then this doesn't need to be said. And then that's the group. And now, boy, that was a lot of struggle, and I'd caused that a problem by myself. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I'm thinking and overthinking sometimes. Now, here's his words that he's being introducing himself. This isn't needed. This isn't needed. This is. Words from YV came to me saying. Okay. Now, usually the first time our creator just talks to him, but he's not showing himself. Our creator's not showing himself. But it's something like what happened to Moses, okay? By a burning bush, by what I'm saying there, is not showing himself. Samuel, he just spake to him when he was laying down, and Samuel or Eli tells him, that's our creator speaking to you. So the thing here is that is how a lot of the prophets begin, okay? Now, being a prophet for him. But these words from Wyoming, what this is telling me, this is in his head that he's hearing this message. Came to me saying, and this would be his words, and they're coming from him. And yes, this is going to be like this. Now this, I'm not thinking is the true part, because these hook together, and it wouldn't be, I consecrate you. And he didn't use, in other words, our creator didn't anoint prophets. He spake to them, and I have appointed you is my prophet. So one like this, one like this, like this. I am appointing you and making you to the nations. Now, this S can't be right because we know that Israel's already gone, the nation Israel. The only one's left is Judah. And this doesn't hook to below, so I can get rid of this. I am making you my prophet. I'm appointing you as, I think appointing would be better. And then this is our creator speaking. And it's going to say, I am. Whoops. I am. Whoops. I got the wrong key. Not as fast as I thought I would be left-handed with hitting these keys. But now save this. Okay. Now see, he's saying he's a youth. I am younger than them pretty much. But this would mean that maybe at 15. Then I replied, I'm going to put the word my here, my Lord. So then my Lord YV. See this, he has to recognize his voice to be able to say something like this. You got to understand, every word has a lot to be said within these words. They are very condensed, but they have such specific meaning when you say these words that he has to understand who he is already. Okay? So, and this is that when they say, don't say I'm a youth, then this has to be out. And it would be, but here, and then this here, I am a youth. I guess I'm going to have to stick with that word, youth, because it's working with the verses below. So that means those two are working together. So I now have a separation. And I forgot to bring it closer for you to see me when I'm actually working with the text. But YV said to me, do not say, I am a youth. So this will be our Creator speaking. And that's what I do to honor and respect our Creator when the text is showing like this. So, and this is okay, like one space. And I really hate them like that. Big. Because everywhere, because everywhere I send you, you will go. And speak what I command you. So this word here, I'm going to copy it, but this has got to be this, but it's got to be yellow because and I'm going to put it here. Oops, oh, that didn't work. And then I make it yellow. Send you. Speak. Because wherever I send you, you will speak all that I command you. So here, then this needs to go up here. Send you, you will. Now that gets out. This now becomes this as a statement that I command you. That would be the period, and then this gets like that. So this, okay, now and do not be afraid. I am with you. I don't need the words of them, but I do need the word and. And do not be afraid. Although, because it's talking about his youth, yeah, I better save this. Because if he's, do not be afraid of them. So, yes, he's going to be young when he starts out then. And 20 is pretty much an adult. So he's going to be about 15 when he's sent. So we can, by this information, and I was struggling to figure out his age at what time and try to use all the rest of the knowledge in the book. We can now determine that, yes, he is most likely 15 years old when he's sent by our Creator. For I am with you. I am with you to deliver you. Now that the word deliver is usually the way I have it tied to when I'm using the word delivery. And I really try not to use like these words to mean multiple things, like he left in his left hand. See that I can't get around that word, but the word delivery is saving you from the enemy. So if he's fearing, then I guess the correct word here, for I will, let's see, I will deliver you from them. And this is out. Yes, he is declaring this. So how do I think this is the wrong verse here. This I'm going to say is out, but I'm going to put it here because I'm thinking that there is a verse missing, because this is just reading out of place, because he wouldn't declare it. He's already said this, so he is kind of telling them, and do not be afraid of them, for I will deliver you from them, even though you are a youth, even though you are young, even that would be 3. But then why have he stretched out his hand and touched my mouth? Now this is wrong, because up here I was telling you that these words came to him saying. So this can't be all of a sudden our Creator appears. See how it says came to me saying, and it's in his head. And I told you he needs to know his voice, so he knows that it's him. Now it's kind of, and by the way, Jesus agrees with me, or I agree with Jesus, that our Creator's voice could come into your head. He defines actually what is Holy Spirit as our Creator's words that he's going to give you in your head to say what needs to be said. Or words just come out your mouth and you're prophesying, like Zacharias when his mouth opened and he told everybody what John was really going to do. So somebody knows the format. Somebody knows the format. or this is actually when he talks to somebody else. Because here he's seeing our Creator. But it's just these two. These two are going to go someplace else. It would maybe visions of Jeremiah, to whom the words came. Because if I replace the word words here, then this makes sense here. And then an angel stretched out his hand and touched my mouth. And YV commanded, YV told me, I have put my words into your mouth. Into your mouth. Yeah, that can be worked out, that he's having a vision, but he doesn't tell us what he's seeing, except for here. Okay, but if I've got here, do not be afraid of them, for I will deliver you from them. And see how they like cut this and needed to put this here because of these words here that they've added. But if I skip past these words, do not be afraid, for I will deliver you from them. Now, this can't be true. He's already said this. This would not be true here. This would not be true here. Now, Wivey appeared and said to me, nope, now in a vision, an angel came to me saying, he has appointed you as his prophet Then I said to the angel from YV, but I am a youth. Now, these words could be speaking by him, our creator. Oh, then the angel, because this has to be an angel. And then YV said these, because he's talking here, the angel's still there. He does this, and then he says this. It's not reached, or it's reached. Reached. It's a poor word, I know, but reached with his hand and touched my mouth, and YV said to me, okay, so this is the introduction of how things start. But it's got to be then his, and it's got to be angel here. I still haven't figured out exactly. No, I need green text. This would be green text. This would be green text. Okay. So I think I've got the story figured out here. But he's not in a vision yet. A vision to Jeremiah. This has to be to Jeremiah. So this has to be. Um, this might be had by. This would be the vision Vision led by Jeremiah, the land of the words from YHVH'S in the days of Josiah. Mm. So if it's in these years on the 13th, that's 17, 25, 35, 45, 55. Okay. But it would be that he was born in this guy. The vision had by Jeremiah, to whom the words why became in the days for Josiah, for Judah in his 10th, 13th year of his reign, and in the days, okay. And this verse is wrong. This has to include this guy, because we already know he's kings for Judah. Now that's why I'm thinking that this verse is not needed then. If that's true, then this would be that. But that's leaving that out there with nothing there. But if it's got to. Oh, I get so confused with this sometimes. I guess I'm worrying too much in my head of what's going on here with the text right now. Well, no, that's what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to straighten it out as whether I forgot what I was doing here. Okay. If I say now, and we know we're in a vision, it has to be then. But it have to be in my vision. It's got to have the word vision down here, I'm thinking. Well, came would be appeared. So let me put appeared. Okay. And this is, yeah, because you don't need to have the words here, words saying. And it would be in a in a vision, an angel appeared. Now, in a, no, okay, now if I use, now in, now in my vision, in, whoops, an angel appeared. Now, in my vision, it doesn't need the word appeared. It needs just to be said, an angel said to me. Now, in this, I gotta say I've added, I forgot that. An angel appeared, an angel well, this goes like this. Now, in my vision, period, an angel from YV said, or did he tell him? How's this? Now, I'm reading. Sorry for the dead airspace, but that is just bugging me how this is to be correctly written. So, the vision I had, the vision had by Jeremiah, the land to whom the words from Ivy came. My vision Ivy. If I get rid of this again, get rid of this. What I'm struggling with is is how does the text have him? If YV appeared and said, I have appointed you as my prophet. Oh. Oh. Okay, if I do it that way, then our creator's appearing. And usually our creator's there before you appear. You appear before him. Because this is almost like saying he could in my vision from YV. And this has got to get rid of this word now. In my vision, YV appeared. And I have to use the word and here. And said, I am appointing you as my prophet. Then I replied, as my um hmm. Okay, I think that's good enough, but it's just strange that he would appear. In my vision, I appeared, and he said to me, okay, let me try it that way. If I type the word or put this here, make it just I, and then say I appeared, but he had to come appear. I appeared and he said to me, in my vision, YV came, YV, in my vision, YV. Now in my vision, I appeared and he said, okay, so that's what's going to happen. Now in my vision, I appeared and he said to me, okay, now he's appearing before our Creator. That's finally. I know, quit screaming at the screen. I get it. I get it. They're really slow here. I am appointing you as my prophet. Then I replied, my Lord, YV, I am a youth, but I am a youth. And you're looking for two major words. This is one and youth is the other. But YV said to me, that I command you, afraid of them, for I will deliver you from them. And your coming enemies. This keyboard's got to go over here. I got to get more comfortable here. So, yeah, I got to have our Creator here. Then YV reached with his hand, touched my mouth. Yeah, I guess I touched my mouth and said to me, behold, I have put the words in your mouth. This day, now build and plant, that isn't, I tried several different ways in my head to do that, and that just wasn't working. I put my words in your mouth, and this day and this day over his nation, Jesus' nation. Well, if he's going to say this, he would say it, and this day you will be over. Um, Push the wrong button here. That one. Oh, I got to get that organized for my left hand. And then I'm going to make it red. His nation. This is not working today. It was better in my right hand. Let me do a little bit of changing here. Okay. To be over his nation. It is to pluck up and break down and to destroy. And this is two verses to going together. How can I make them one? For I am going to destroy and remove them. Now, what if this it doesn't continue here and continues down here? I put words into your mouth. If I start down here, I'd have to say, then he asked, and I'm going to make this a gray word that I'm adding. Then he asked me, what do you see? Oops, gotta do that. What do you see? That's got to be a question mark. I am just, I'm going to get rid of all this. Plain and simple. And get rid of this. Okay, then he asked me, what do you see? I said, I see Um, yeah, this is not good because it's got a break for 3 here, and I'm not getting it. Um, comma, this is going up here. This has got to go here. I got to make some decisions. And this is out. Whoops, this. And that goes. Behold, I put my words in your mouth. And said what? Well, it has to be, what do you see? And I'm trying to figure out how is this. That isn't right. There's, if that text goes with that, that would mean there's a space here. You have seen well. I'm watching over my words to perform it. Now, that's a 4 verse. That's a very good 4 verse. And if that's a 4 verse, then this becomes a 4 verse. That would down. This would be he asks me, comma, what do I see? And then he said to me, comma, you have seen well. Not well. A rod of a, not an almond tree, but a tree. I forgot to get rid of that word. Sorry about that. A rod from a tree. And he says, you have seen, you see, you are seeing my will, not well. What is the rod going to do? And above, it's got to pluck and break down. But this, there's no words. But a rod is used for punishment. A rod. You will be seeing this. Or I'm watching over. Um, What do you see? I said I see a boiling pot facing this has to be not facing but coming. Period. Maybe actually it's this is starting and this is a lie that it's the second. And the words above are coming from the second. Oh, but it is turning into a 4-verse. So what happened up here? I can't even think right now. What is going on? What's going on here? This is not reading the way it should. Then he said to me, because I can't make a 4-verse out of that. That's too good of a 3-verse. This is a 4-verse. And was this the very beginning? Now, an almond tree has blossoms on the rod, a branch with a branch with flowers from an almond tree. And I'm watching over them. And my words but if I get rid of this again up here, I get rid of this. Okay, that's a 3. Then I get rid of this. What do you see? I said I see a rod from a tree. You see well, or I am. Okay, he named it a rod. That's what he's doing. It's not a branch. It's not a stick. It's a rod. And the rod does mean to teach strongly for punishment. So you see well. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with the 3 verse. So I'm watching over, or I'm watching over them. Boy, that doesn't read good. Okay. That I'm going to leave there. I got to move on. This is really, I can't believe it. I've only got 12 verses and it's almost been 2 hours. And this is not, now he's asking him, what do you see? And that's not, came to him a second time. This was just not truthful here. This is what he's talking about, his one vision. So what do you see? I said, I see a boiling pot. Now, so this has to be a period. That, man, keys next to other keys, not working. And then our creator's going to speak again. So he's seen a boiling pot. North. Evil will come. Now this has to be about Babylon. Now this, then Wivey said to me, out of the north evil will come, and all the races. Inhabitants are races. There's too many people in the land, and they're teaching them the practice of the goddess, how to meditate and see her. So, and it's got to be races in your land. And I guess that on the races in your land. in your. Well, that's why the keyboard was gone there. That was. Oh, this is our creator speaking. So, and the races in your land. Period. For I am calling. Okay, because this has to be like this because it's out of the north. He's got to explain the north here. So this would be, for I am calling, or I am sending for the kingdoms from the north. I am sending, comma, I am sending, for I am sending the kingdoms from the north. Okay. Wow, that was probably the quickest I've moved in a long time on the text. Okay. And then this, period. If that's 2, and then that has to be 2. But that's not 2. That's 2. That's, now if I get rid of all this text and put those 2 together, that's what I got to do. If I do that, then I say that, because I was having problems with that word, but here, if I go like that as a group, what do you see? Now what do you see? Yeah, I read it that way, might as well put it in. Now what do you see? Then Wiley said, now maybe it's not a boiling pot. No, that's, and then that. Okay. Then I'll set each one on his throne at the entrance of the king's, against its walls round about, against all the cities of Judah. This is out. I don't need this. Each one Now this is that's the wrong. It needs to be spelled out. I try spelling out the word one when it's not talking about one thing. When it's a one spelled out, it's about peoples. So they aren't like a thing. So each one. But this, if it's behold, I am sending, then this has got to be a kingdom from the north. Sending a kingdom from north. Then it's when it's referring to the word they will come, it means the army. So this one is wrong. Now, from what I know about what the text says about the city Jerusalem, and it's got walls, limestone, and we know that Jesus is going to come from the east, and they're coming from the north. So the entrance has to be this entrance into Jerusalem. And then there's going to be a road that's going this way that goes down to Hebron. And then, because the travelers are taking this main highway through. So now it would say that this entrance and this, but there's not one on that side. So that when they come in, they had to come this way, that they're knowing that they're coming to Jerusalem. You just don't want anybody purposely coming through Jerusalem. It's the capital city where their king is at. You want to keep as many foreigners out of Jerusalem. I'm just trying to put picture in my head at the entrance, why the word entrance has to be used. And at the entrance for Jerusalem. And it would be at the gates, at the entrance gates. And it will be come out and set up. So that needs to be there. And this will be a period. They will set up. And this, I guess I don't need at the entrance gate. And it would have been two gates, that just meaning not just one great big one. This allowed larger carts to come through into the city, into the gates. And all about a siege. I'm looking for a siege and I found it. Don't need this. at the entrance gate and round about. Don't need this. And that would be a period. Nope. I need that for the next group. And now I know that this is going to be an evil. So this will be easy then. Cities 4. Okay, I think that's how it should read. Because it's got to have trying to get into Jerusalem and round about to be against. Yeah, it's all. To be against all. The cities for Judah. This. They will come and set up at the entrance gates. I'm not seeing these two words working. So this has to be like against everyone. Be against everyone. They're trying to besiege they're besieging Jerusalem, but they're also going out to start conquering. Yeah, the entrance gate. It's got to be to be again. I didn't want to repeat the same words. I was to be against everyone. And round about to be against all the cities, against every city. I don't see it as whereby. I do see it as they have forsaken me with sacrifices. There's a difference the way our Creator had them make a sacrifice of the animal outside the courtyard, take the muscles out, which is the action of the sin, and then take it in and put on the altar as the offering, and that's the offering on the altar. They got offering and then they got sacrifices. They didn't. What they did would they would sacrifice the animal on the altar to the other gods. So this here, they have forsaken me with sacrifices to other gods. That would be here. No, maybe it's that top one to breaking into a set of 3. They have forsaken me. Sacrifices to other gods. But that isn't right. I don't see that. Okay, so let's see here. For I will pronounce my judgment, or I am pronouncing, or I am declaring my judgment. Okay, that's better. For I am. I don't know if I added the word will or not here. Now I got to back up, and I can't. I'm thinking it would read with where will. For I am. And this has to be bringing my judgment on them. I am sending them as my judgment. They have forsaken me with sacrifices to other gods. No, I can't use the word bringing. They're already there. They're at, I forgot to read above. So this word can't be here. Bringing is wrong. If I get rid of this and this and say, that, roundabout as for my judgment. I'm going to put the word for here. For my judgment. This has to actually end up like this. I got to get one sentence out of here. And if I don't use this, then I can shorten this up by going like that to get it all on the screen. For my judgment, because if it's evil, this, yeah, wickedness is already being said. So that doesn't need to be there. This doesn't need to be there. Concerning them. Let me grab the word them. My judgment concerning them. Roundabout to be against every city. Every city for Judah. For my judgment concerning them. Yes, that would read like that. So that's good. So, but this is gonna start a new work or a new set here. And bring against every city for Judah. For my judgment concerning them. They have forsaken. Yeah, I got to use the word for again as well. And I try to avoid that as much as possible because using the same word to start the sentence just reads off the lips wrong. To other gods. Now, I got to find words that go with this. Okay, now this is out because I need a closing statement here about being sent out, and I can see he's being sent out here. Rise and speak to them. I commanded. For all I prophesied. Not arise, but go and not speak. It's prophesy. Prophesy to them. Prophesy. I don't know if that's the right word. Well, let me put an underline under that so I don't miss or I don't forget that. So this has to be the word now here. Now go and prophesy. But if I say now go and prophesy everything, no, it's not going to read that way. This now is going to be like this, an added unimportant word to fill the format. So all I spake to you. It's not reading right. I can't put it in my head right. It's just getting sad here. I can't get another verse here. If this, now go and prophesy to them, period. That does this. Now, all I commanded you, all I spake to you, that's better. And I'm going to put everything. Oh, green. I keep wanting to do something else. And do not be, and do not be dismayed. Okay, for the first time today, I got to go over here and I got to go to 17. Got to figure out a better word than dismay. Down here is where I'm going to come up with some words. Do not be frightened by them. I see that it's frightened or terrified. So, oh, I got to bring you back here. Oops, got to get that mouse, get this mouse. Do not be frightened. I'm going to put by them. So now, when it is that he's only like 15 years old, that he's going to go do this. Okay? And that is what the text is now telling me, because he's still in his youth, because he's, yes, this is his opening that he's telling him at the age of 15 to go do this. And do not be frightened by them. Now this is out. No, this has nothing to do. This is just junk. There's a pillar of iron, walls of bronze. Not frightened by them, or the king of Judah. Yeah, this is the next group, is below this. So that's one group. Whoops, that is another group. So now it'd be or the king, or yeah, or your king or or your king or Judah and his advisors and priests, or the people in the land. He just tell them not to be frightened of anybody. Okay, let's see. I said it once, I got to figure it out again. Or your king for Judah, or his advisors, and priests. And then I would start it with nor. So this is a nor. And I guess I don't need this. And I need this. So that needs to be, I've added nor. Oops, I have to make this nor the people. But those two read together. That reads as a group. That reads as a group. That reads as a group. That's a pretty good group. Now that is something wrong. And so this means this. I've got to use this. And I got to use this. But I got to figure out what I'm doing with it. Or I am sending them for my judgment. My judgment concerning their evilness. Okay, round about to be against every city for Judah. No, declare my judgment. Is he talking to him to say don't do this, or is he no? Okay, well let me get to the end of this one here and put a period and then bring that down, and this has got to come together, and that'll be, and then these two will be, got to hook these two together, to other gods and worshipped by, no, they worshipped the idols made by their own hands, and worshipped at their idols, and worshipped at their idols. Comma, to other gods and worshipped at their idols. It's got to be made by their own hands. Made by their hands. Don't need the word all. So this, 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 this. Now this has got to be, I've added it, by their own hands. Okay, now that is a 2-verse group. Now I've got 2 here, do I? Yes. I've got 2 here. They will not fight you. They will not overcome you. That he's already set up above. So, now that was a long chapter 1. And I was just trying to make sure I got everything right, because I'm not here to make things up. I seen I had a line here, and I've got to learn that I can't do that. Just a second. I need this button. I hit the keyboard, so it wasn't going to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay, it didn't do everything. I just did step one. Let me do that again. There we go. Then I can push this one. Get rid of all the spacing. Well, that's right. I got to get another macro to get rid of them. Okay, that's something new I'm learning here with them. So, wow. I'm still not coming up with a word for this yet. So, um, this should be 2. That's 2. That's 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now, okay. Now I got to figure out how to get rid of these. And I got to go down from here. 74 edits. Not bad. Oops. Now what I want to do is here, I need that special line break, and 6-point regular, get rid of all the colors. Okay, now this, I want to make paragraphs. Okay. Now save that, I hope. And that's what the text looks like. And what have I got here? 2 hours, 30 minutes. And that's the first cleanup. And it looks like I did a pretty good job here because I've got, let me see a little bit closer. That's a paragraph. That's a paragraph. That's 2 spaces. Paragraph, space, paragraph, space. 2 spaces. Paragraph, space, 2 spaces. That's not good. But that's right. This, I thought, would, because this, then he replied. So what is this going up? And I had so much trouble with this vision thing. And I would have to say that if there's any text, it's missing right here. Got to introduce where he was at the time that this happened to him. Like I was in a field. It's something. This they've got to introduce now in my vision. See, this is what I'm saying. There's because these connect too good. So let me save that. Then let's not grab it. Save it. And that is going to be it for right now. And I only got chapter 1, which is a sad situation. But I'm going to put, I got to go up here. Got to grab this. Well, grab this. Copy it. Save this. Whoops. Now, go back here, go all the way down to where I was at. Whoops. But because I'm going to make this a format or a PDF, I want to do a little bit of my editing work now. Like close these gaps. And then this. And now save it. This would be first. Editing. Clean. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting it ready for the that I don't want to keep doing all this editing work inside this program or this one, like what I just did here. I want to keep all this right here, and then I'll get rid of this. So okay, now it's time to stop this one, and I'll probably restart it again later tonight. But what happened on the screen over there? It looks like I froze up, but that's okay because it was just, no, there it goes. It did lag, even though it says excellent. Oh, never get used to this stuff. Okay. I guess I'm going to stop it over there on Twitch.